Hi everyone, Xana here with Fine Rogue in the studio. Say hi, Fine Rogue.
Hi, buddies. Wait, that sounded weird. Hi, friends.
Hello, buddies. Today we're going to be going over one deck that actually, in the words of Fine Rogue, works.
Works.
All my decks work, by the way. Don't listen to him. So we got all Archfiends, pure Archfiend deck, and so I gotta ask, what'd you think of this one?
Honestly, I thought this was a really cool deck that you were able to pull off. It had some cards that frustrated me, which was a good thing as an opponent player, as an opposing player. And they for like a lot of cards that just negated my spell cards that I needed to do a lot of shit, and I couldn't do anything that I needed to do because you basically just countered everything that I had. It was a lot of fun to play against.
And he was actually playing his more meta decks this time too, like Chaos Max and the Archfiends. So
And there's another one, but I don't know if we're gonna be getting into that deck
let's
today.
look. Okay, I'm trying to go over interesting stuff, and Pure Burn's not one of that.
Oh,
So
Pure
I
is pretty interesting.
I saw that Archfiend's always been around since the very beginning, right? And they've had a ton of cards that just throw Archfiend in there for like no reason. So I'm thinking, oh, why don't we just have an entire deck that's like all around just Archfiends, so that the lesser known ones can get benefited from some of the newer ones stuff. I had the same idea with Chess Archfiends, my OG video. So actually, I'm just gonna start the deck profile because I don't want to go back too far back in Chess Archfiends. Don't want to live in the past. You know what I mean?
Oh shit! I was already waiting in the video. My bad.
Alright, I'm going too fast. Alright, so first thing in the deck is Red Eyes Lightning Lord, Evil Archfiend. This is the new Gemini Red Eyes monster. It's basically the same as Summon Skull, but it's a Gemini monster with the effect of you can destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls with defense less than this card's attack, which is actually a support card that both Thunder types and Summon Skull got, which was kind of a weird combo, but okay. And he just helps with a level 6 engine. I don't like running him at more than 2 because he's just a kind of dead normal summon if you don't have like a monster on the field already. But otherwise, it's a pretty nice card if it's in with the whole Archfiend theme. Next, we have Archfiend Commander at 3. He's really this guy is a huge playmaker. If you have an Archfiend card out, you can actually special summon him from the hand, but you have to destroy an Archfiend card on the field. So if you have the field spell out, you can destroy that. But you can also destroy a monster, and you know me, I love my destruction effects, so the deck's kind of centered around it. I mean, Archfiends in general are already centered around it, but we'll get into that a little later. And when you normal summon it, you can actually target a level 6 Archfiend in the graveyard and special summon that, so that you can go into Xyz play. So, again, I'm running this guy at 3. Any Archfiend deck should, because he's just an amazing card that pops your own monsters. Archfiend Cavalry is, oh god, absolutely the funnest part of this deck. 1900 attack, and if it's destroyed by card effect, you can target an Archfiend monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So, you can get back, Nefarious Archfiend Eater of Nefariousness, Harris, or, any one of these big, beefy Synchro monsters. So if your friend decides, oh, I'm going to Mirror Force Nefarious Archfiend Eater of Nefariousness, then you can just pull out Archfiend's Roar, special summon him, and then he gets destroyed, and you bring out a big, hot, red, throbbing dragon Archfiend Abyss, and, duel's over at that point. You can't do anything about it. So yeah, run 3 of Archfiend Cavalry. 1 Nefarious Archfiend Eater of Nefariousness. You can only control one of them, but we don't get into those effects. That's the other deck it was meant for, which I will go over later because that's very fun. But what we're concerned about is once per turn during your opponent's end phase, if this card's in your graveyard, target one monster you control, destroy it, and special summon this card. So, you get off your supply squads, Eris effects, Cavalry's effects. It's just, great destruction. So now we get into the Resonator portion of this deck with Dark Resonator. Once per turn, the card can't be destroyed by battle, level 3 tuner. You can actually bring him out with Tour Guide, but you can't be Synchro Summoned, but we have a little ways around that. All in all, the Resonator engine actually really helped me. Like Red Resonator, level 2, you can normal summon it to bring out like a level 4 from your hand for quick and easy synchro plays, and if it's special summon, you get more health. Chain Resonator, if you normal summon while synchro monsters on the field, you can special summon another one for your deck. So you can get out Synchron Resonator, another level 1, and go into some of the cards that need 2 tuners. And Synchron Resonator is if a synchro monster on the field, you can special summon a card from your hand. And if it's sent from the field to graveyard, you can actually add a Resonator monster from your graveyard to your hand. So the Resonator engine really helps the deck bring out like the Archfiend synchro monsters, because they're actually pretty much based around the Resonators. You can get them out in other ways, but it's probably the best way to do it. And yeah. And then we got 3 Archfiend Heiress with the tour guide from the Underworld. Unfortunately now, got a bunch of people in this room. We got hey Ruby, how you doing? We got tour guide from the Underworld, bring out a level 3 Fiend type monster, and that's basically all these cards. Archfiend Heiress, if this card's destroyed by a card effect, you can actually get any Archfiend card from your deck to your hand. So that lets you get Falling Down, Archfiend's Roar, Palabyrinth, pretty much any monster besides the Resonators. Super nice. 3 Resonator Call, add 1 Resonator from your deck to your hand. Great for just searching whatever you need. 2 Dark Hole, I run this over Raigeki just to get off our effects. Foolish Burial, because it helps Heiress and Archfiend Eater. I'm not going to say that every time. 2 Twin Twister, spell and trap card removal. 1 Monarch Stormforth, because we run level 6s. 3 Supply Squad for destruction effects, and 3 Falling Down. This card is amazing. Heiress can search for it, and as long as you have an Archfiend monster out, or Archfiend card, sorry, you can take control of 1 of your opponent's monsters, which is just a searchable equip card that steals monsters. That's amazing. This wins you games. Palabyrinth and Pandemonium. I run Pandemonium at 1 and Palabyrinth at 2 because they both have their own uses, but it's nice to draw into either. Hi Ruby. My dog just walks in. We got Palabyrinth here that helps you gain 500 attack for all your Fiend type monsters. And the effect's a little confusing, but basically, if you have an Archfiend monster and another Fiend type out, you can target the Archfiend, banish the other Fiend, and get out another Archfiend in your deck or graveyard with the same level as the Archfiend. So you banish another Fiend type monster on the field. And it helps a lot when you're trying to get into your XYZ plays. But besides that, there's really not a lot you can do. The 500 attacks, though, is really nice because it makes these guys 300, this guy 2400. It's, really useful. Pandemonium doesn't have the extra 500, so I go into it less, but if Archfiend card is destroyed, again, destruction effect, you can probably add another Archfiend monster from your deck with less level less than the card you have, which is honestly super good. It's just that it doesn't have the 500 or the XYZ capabilities, so I don't run it at 2. Although if I had to make one change, I would probably try running it at 2. And then we got Bombless, we got Torrential, Solemn just for monster removal, and 3 Archfiend's Roar. Pay 500 life points, target 1 Archfiend monster in your graveyard. That's any one of these, by the way. Special summon it, and destroy it during the end phase. So things like Archfiend Cavalry will go off, Heiress again, if you need a little bit of protection, or just bringing them out for an OTK. This is the card you want to use. And that's it for the main deck. So Synchro deck, actually, it's basically just a bunch of Archfiend cards I threw in because I didn't know a lot about them, but I could actually go into each one. I mostly go into the level 9 and 10 ones, but I've gone to each in our replays, but I've gone to each and every one. The cards I actually really want to talk about are over here, Red Rising Dragon, because not a lot of people know about these. If it's Synchro Summon, you can target Resonator in your graveyard and special summon it. But you can only go into Dark Dragons for the rest of the turn. But that's good, because your entire deck, except for maybe Chaos King Archfiend or Thought Ruler Archfiend, is Dark Dragon. So This card is basically a huge playmaker. You're going to get Red Resonator, Archfiend Cavalry, or Eater and Nefariousness, and then go into this, bring back another Resonator, gain health, or just, go into your level 9 or 8s. Super good. And then we have Concealer Palomi, just to get back our cards, Castel, because I put them in every deck with a level 4 in it, and Phantom Knights of Breaksword, because it can destroy cards on both sides of the field to activate effects. So, alright. That's the entire deck. Jake, what do you say you and I decide to go into the replays? What do you think about that?
I think y'all are about to see me get my ass whooped.
It's just, Jake played great. It's just,
on multiple occasions.
Honestly, it's a pretty good deck. So let's go watch replay. Let's go to 1.
Alright, I'm there.
You ready? Alright.
Yeah, boy.
3, 2, 1, go. Let's get into the game. So we got here his Ancient Gear deck. I love Ancient Gear. It's probably the first deck I made in Dueling Network back in high school. He brings out Hound.
Dueling Network, man.
Oh god, so much fun. Too bad it got shut down. Well, shut-ish down. They took out all the card out. But anyway, here we go into Red Rising Dragon. I get back Red Dark Resonator and go into Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, which is great. If you deal battle damage, you get to bring back a Resonator from the graveyard. And once per turn during either player's turn, you can just negate an effect. Any effect. So if someone tries to Raigeki you, bam, negated. And here's a pretty fun play. I go into Archfiend Commander, destroy Eris that got brought out from Tour Guide, and use Palo Labyrinth to get rid of that, so I can go into Palomi and get rid of that card to go for an OTK. Well, not an OTK, but, well, a lot of damage. Just really short duels showing off the kind of plays the deck can actually make. It's pretty fun. Pretty interesting. So that was a pretty quick one. Let's go to 2. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's do this. So 3, 2, 1, let's go. Okay, so start out with Pandemonium in hand, see how that works out with the deck. He's going with Chaos Max because, well, a little bit of challenge with this one. I Torrential, get off Eris' effect, and overall start with a nice board. He gets out White Spirit Dragon to destroy Bottomless Trap Hole, but then I Bottomless him. That's what you get for banishing all my spell and trap cards. I bring out our Archfiend Cavalry, and we get this duel started, basically. Archfiend Cavalry is going to be your main level 4 of every deck you make with an Archfiend card. It's just really great. He again banishes my spell and trap card. He destroys my Archfiend Cavalry, but then I get Pandemonium's effect because of that to get Eris, and I get an Eris on the field. He steals it, but then he goes into Dark Matter Dragon. I have to banish a few cards, which hurts my deck. You definitely don't want to get banished. There's a Trance Archfiend card that can get banished cards if you want to do something like that, but I didn't put it in. So I use Falling Down, which I got off a search, and I end up, well, getting him down to 100 health. Puts up a bit of a fight here with Maiden Knights of Blue, accidentally setting it, but yeah, I mean, not a lot else you're going to do in that situation.
Notice how I didn't get out the main monster of that deck once?
He was too intimidated by the deck. Alright, let's get into Archfiend 3. You ready?
Already there.
Alright, 1, 2, 3, go. Alright, so this one is a bit of a longer duel, just to show that, it can last in a drawn-out fight. Resonator Call. I have a bunch of Resonators in my hand right now. Not the most ideal thing, but they have ways of protecting themselves, like Dark Resonator, so I'm not too worried. I don't set it, though, because if he whips out a Chaos Max on me, that'll be like 7,700 damage, and I don't want to deal with that. But I do end up getting out Red Rising Dragon with Archfiend Eater and Nefariousness, and I go into Red Dragon Archfiend, but yeah. And unfortunately, I can't actually Synchro Summon, I forgot, because the level 7's a Fiend-type monster. But because of the trap card's effect, still was destroyed. I ended up destroying my Resonator again, just to get the extra draw from Supply Squad. I actually Twin Twistered both his Gospel of Revival, so you'll see that come up in a little bit. But I actually go into another Red Rising Dragon, and I got Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend, destroy any special summon monsters, so if he actually ended up special summoning Cavalry, it's pretty good. He destroys his White Dragon Stone to get out his Blue Eyes White Dragon, and he actually banishes Gospel of Revival in order to destroy my other 3,000 monster, which was a clever play. But I destroy Cavalry to bring out my Synchro monster again, which is just, you know, having a lot of fun with it. I destroy 2 cards with the effect, and he ends up not Gospel of Revivaling, which was very clever of him. And I'm just desperate to keep my monster on the field, so at that point I just do that. Unfortunately, it's a big beefy monster I'm not able to get past immediately, so I mean, now I can with Dark Hole. And then he endless trap holes me again. So we're stuck in a bit of a rut right now. We don't have a lot of monsters that can attack each other with. But yeah, what did you think of this duel?
This was a cool duel, actually. I enjoyed it a lot. Once again, was not able to get out any of my monsters to try to like get back at you to really try to see how it would work against it, but
you still did a good job.
I mean,
with it. Like
your deck kept coming out. You just kept coming out with monster after monster after goddamn motherfucking monster.
Maybe it's because it's always been kind of a bad deck, but I always liked Archfiends, like just specifically using Archfiends. But so I have a little bit of experience with it. And I get out Castel because it's the only level 4 XYZ I will always run, because it's so broken good. It should be limited at best. I end up pulling into oh, sorry. I end up pulling into a Falling Down. I just bring out another Cavalry, go for game. That's it. Now,
I couldn't believe that I had one fucking Chaos Max the whole damn duel and couldn't bring him out.
I'm sorry, dude. Now, we have actually one more replay for you guys while I talk about what goes on the end of the video, my normal spiel. Why don't we load up Archfiend 0? Alright, 1, 2, 3, go. This is just me taking the Max C challenge with our buddy Fine Rogue. And, yeah, just showing off a lot of the special summoning aspect of it. So, again, if you're just watching this for the first time, what I like to do is take the comments from other videos if you have an idea of how to do this deck better than how I did it, which you probably did, honestly. I mean, come on, you see what kind of decks I'm making. Then please leave it in the comments. I'll be sure to talk about it in the next, in another update video. And, yeah, I don't have anything else to say about it. What about you, Fine Rogue?
Well, there's only one thing that we know of that can beat your deck so far.
Yeah, if you're running Burn, then you're gonna do pretty well against this deck.
You sure you don't want to show him that replay?
Yeah, I didn't save that replay.
Oh, don't worry, I'll hook you up.
You know, dude, I'm good. That's it for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for coming in. This is Fine Rogue in the studio.
Adios.
Alright, thank you so much. Good night, guys.